This is Hog Farmer Chris and the 2022 Commanders Fan of the Year. Before you listen to Red Zone in the Lab podcast, I want to thank you for your support in bringing awareness to the Hog Farmers Charitable Foundation, which helps children and their families affected by pediatric cancer. You truly make a difference. And with that being said, please don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on YouTube.
Welcome back, Red Zone in the Lab podcast. I am Deuce, and joining me today is Atlanta Falcons. Keilahn Harris. What's good, man? How you doing, man?
I'm good. How you doing, man?
Good, hanging in there, man. I mean, man, you're an NFL player, man.
Yeah.
I mean, how does that feel? I mean, are you still trying to grasp that? Like where are you right now with knowing that you're an NFL player?
Man, it's just right now I still feel surreal. So I mean, I haven't really got to the facility yet. So I don't think it hit me just yet. But just being able to make my dream come true, it's a big blessing. So I mean, it feels good. Just I don't think it hit me just yet though.
Yeah, let's talk about that dream, man. Like, first of all, where did you grow up?
I grew up in the Dallas Richardson area, as you say. Yeah.
Yeah, down in Dallas, Texas, man. It's hot down there, man.
Yeah, real hot. I just got done with workout, so I'm ready to jump in that shower.
Yeah, most definitely, man. So like, how was the journey? Like, was it your dream to play in the NFL? Like, was that your only sport that you played growing up?
It's always been a dream of mine, but now I played basketball. I played basketball with Malik. I ran track as well, but man, football has always been my number one sport. So it's always been a dream of mine, man. But in high school, I kind of took a turn towards basketball, and then got back into it my junior year. Really, it's been a long journey. I could tell you so much, but I didn't really get looked at, when I was in junior high and high school. I didn't start making it, playing on the field till I was a junior, really starting. And then coming out of high school, I didn't have any offers. I didn't have any stars. But towards the end of basketball season, I had picked up an offer from Oklahoma Baptist. So, really, they just gave me one chance, man.
And that's usually all that's needed, man. I heard when you talk about high school football down there in Texas, it's a whole different animal. Like, just tell us a little bit like about that animal playing like football down in Texas.
Well, Texas high school football is the best all around the world. But man, so I played at a 6A, so I was playing the bigger, the tougher guys. I wasn't so big in high school, but playing Duncanville, playing DeSoto, Lancaster, those guys are always tough. But man, being able to play down here in Texas, bro, you gotta have that dog in you. You gotta want to get out on that field and play for your teammates and win. But man, playing down here in Texas ain't no joke. So it's a different breed.
Who are some of the people that's always been in your corner supporting you through this whole journey?
Definitely my mom. She took my dream as if it was her own. She bent over backwards. All the times that I was ready to go grind, she never just downed me for it. She always gave me the money, to go to these camps and go to the, workouts. My receiver coach is David Robinson. So she never once just, told me no, she don't got it right now. She always made it happen for me because of this dream. So it's really been my mom.
Yeah, man. Family is very important, man. It's very important. It's like your backbone. They say that the whole village, but you also have extensions to that, right? You have, like you was talking about, your coaches and the community. What are some coaches, through your time playing ball or even basketball, even some people in the community that was always pushing you to be better?
That's a good question, man. I got a bunch of coaches, that stood in my corner, but really one that I would say as right now would be, my receiver coach from Oklahoma Baptist. I came in as a freshman, wanting to play, And everybody has that thought process, or if I'm going to play or if I'm going to redshirt. He took that chance on me. He let me play my freshman year and let me learn. So, man, he made it possible for me, man. He gave me the opportunity to do me and be me, but also teach me as a man and help me learn on the field. So, I definitely say Coach Eaton from Oklahoma Baptist. And then I had one coach in high school, man, that really made all of it possible. His name was Coach McDonald. He was at Berkner at my high school for a year, and then transferred to West Mesquite. But he put me on to David Robertson, to develop my game, develop my receiver skills. So definitely those two.
And I know high school, man, high school can be tough all over the world, no matter where you at. But playing football, it puts like an extra like burden on you, because especially if you're a star ball player, right? You got
Right.
more eyes on you. You like the teachers could seem a little more petty, all different types of things could be going on. But how was that? How was that high school experience with you playing multiple sports and especially excelling from what we know at football?
Uh, High school experience, man. It was. I mean, it was fun. I wasn't really. I didn't start thinking of playing college ball and getting a scholarship till I was actually touching the field and making stuff happen. But man, I was that popular kid in high school. I was friends with everybody, but I would just say me doing what I was doing on the field, man. I guess that's what brought me all the fans and all the people that's in my corner. So I mean, if that explains that question.
And you talk about football when you stepped on the field. What play or when did you realize that, yeah, I'm him? I can get to the NFL.
I mean, I wouldn't just say, it's just plays that determine that. It's just really just the confidence, man. But I my first time ever touching the football, man, I was in Little League. I think I was 5 years old, and my mom told me that my coach wanted me to, run the ball to the right, but I ended up running it to the left. And so it got called back for some flag, but the very next play, man, he told me to run to the left, but I ended up running to the right and still took it. I think about 80 yards for a touchdown. So that's when I really started falling in love with football, knowing I can do it. At a very young age, you don't know, about
Right,
NFL and stuff just yet, so you just want
right.
to play.
Just the
But
love of the game.
yeah, for sure. And then I would say I definitely felt like, my dream was coming true and, I could make it. I think I would say it was my sophomore year in college. We played Southeastern. It was, we was in a very, very good game. And it was 30-15 and I ran a drag route and my quarterback dumped it off to me. And, I had got a good block from one of my receivers, Michael Marshall. And, I jumped from, I think, the 3 yard line or the 5 yard line. And the guy standing up. So for the touchdown to put us up. But yeah, I guess that's a big moment for me that
That's
made
crazy,
that.
man. You got tape of that? You got that tape?
Yeah, I got some
Yeah,
tape.
man. Send it to me. We can talk. I give you my email address. I can add it in here.
I definitely
Show some of those highlights. I mean, if you even got like a highlight package, I could add it on here too.
for sure.
Yeah, man. So like that whole thing about senior year comes, you playing ball, you got scouts probably coming to the games.
Right.
Even if they're not coming for you, they coming for somebody, but you're there, so they see you. They might talk to you all after practice or after the games and all those type of things. But what was that whole experience like? It's like having that on your mind, like, okay, somebody is watching me
Right.
play and I have to perform. Like, how much pressure is that?
Uh Man, it's that pressure is insane because you got to watch what you do, you got to watch what you say, and I'm the type of player, man. I don't when I play when I'm on the field and I'm in between the lines, and for some reason I just don't hear the outside. I don't hear the people and the fans, but I play with my emotions on my shoulders and I play strong. So any little thing that is not right, that I can have, I can feel some type of way about it because I just play with that competitiveness and I play with that passion. So it's big pressure, as I got towards, being able to have those scouts come watch. My coach would always tell me, I had my head coach and my receivers coach, they set me down before game, before practices, and even in their offices, and they implemented me in that I have to watch what I do because everybody's watching, they're watching what you're doing see if you're that leader. So it's that pressure is real.
And then now, like you out there, you balling out. You play your last snap in high school. You know, you have your tapes ready. Everything is ready to go. Now it's into the hands of those schools. Now it's in the hands of all those scouts that came to see you, all those scouts that asked for your tape, all those scouts and teams that you probably talked to, and your mom and your coaches
Right.
about who Keilahn Harris is. So now is the waiting game, right? Where are these offers going to come from? You know, what schools is going to send them? How far do I may have to go? Like
Yeah.
Malik, right? He went all the way to California,
Yeah.
right?
And my
You know what I'm
dog.
saying? Right. You know what I mean? So like, and like what was that experience like, you know, waiting for those scholarships to come in? And then when do you say, you know what, this is it, this is where I'm going to go?
It's tough, man. Putting your tape together to send out to scouts and send out to the colleges. It's a real tough experience, when you don't really got that. I'll say that background to help you out, so to speak. But man, it just feels like a rush. It feels like that you haven't done anything just yet, and it can be a burden on kids' shoulders when those offers aren't rolling in, and then you start getting those negative thoughts. But what helped me out, and what my mom always told me is control what you can control.
Mm-hmm.
Let God handle that for
Mm-hmm.
you. As long as you keep grinding and you being consistent and you being true to yourself, that's the main thing, man. You got to be true to yourself. Don't try to be out here and act like anybody else. So just just let God take care of it, man. Just control what you control, and those offers
Yeah.
start rolling in.
Yes,
So
exactly, man. Like control what you can control. Do your part. Do what you're supposed to do. Everything else will
right,
definitely work itself out. All right, so you get a scholarship. You say you only got one, right? From
right,
Oklahoma Baptist, right? Oklahoma Baptist University.
yes, sir.
I never heard of it until I started doing some research on you, right? So
Okay.
when it came to you, have you ever heard of that school?
I never heard of it. So I mean, I actually got it, man. We was just getting done with a basketball tournament, and I was at the back of the bus. This was towards the end of the season when you start doing tournaments and stuff. But man, a coach called me from Oklahoma Baptist, telling me that they wanted to offer me, and I was surprised. It's basketball season, so
Right, right,
it's over with. But man, it took me I think about a week or 2 weeks to commit because I was so every kid's dream is to go D1. That's
yeah.
my mindset then because it was basketball season was to go walk on somewhere. And something I talked to my mom about it, and it was the best choice for me just because they was offering me something. So and I just knew anywhere I had to go, man, anywhere that a kid goes, man, you're gonna have to put the grind in regardless. So yeah,
Yeah,
Oklahoma Baptist.
yeah, and that's the thing, man. Like, and I can just imagine, right? That is that everyone wants to go to D1. Everyone wants to go to a Power Five school because that's where the money is. That's where the exposure is. But also that's where the best players are, right?
Right,
So you might get a chance that you might not even see the field
right.
because of all of those players is there. But it's also good to go somewhere where you're wanted,
Yes.
and that's the place that wanted you. So and you kind of said like when your mom kind of had that conversation with you, and you probably look at what they wanted me to be here. So now I'm gonna put all my focus into them. So what was that phone call like a week later?
Um, I was still in that mindset of going D1. So I mean, it was at that time I didn't understand what D1 and I mean I understand what D1 was, but I didn't understand what D2 was. I thought
Mm-hmm.
I was just gonna go there, get my education and just play ball, and that was it. But man, that phone call after, but they felt, they was happy. They was happy that I committed there, and they was looking forward for me to be there. So me coming in, I'm gonna be honest. Me going in there my freshman year, it was hell for me because that's not where I wanted to be.
Yeah.
But I wanted there, but I just didn't want to be there. But man, I just put my head down and I grinded and I focused and playing ball is what makes me happy. That's what I had to figure out. So no matter where you at, man, if you playing ball and you doing your thing, they gonna find you. So just be happy and enjoy it while you're doing it.
Mm-hmm. Your freshman year, right? You hear about red shirt.
Mm-hmm.
And when you hear red shirt, that your mind can go like, well, I'm not good enough.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But how was that feeling going into that year? Did you think you was going to be red shirted? Like, how was that? Like, or did you work as hard as you could not to be red shirted?
Honestly, my freshman year, man, going in, I wasn't gonna take the chance of red shirt. My mindset going in, because I was going D2, I'm gonna play.
Yeah.
That was my mindset, and I grinded since I grinded when I first hit the field there, and I'm not gonna say particular, but when I first went in, man, I was at the bottom of the depth chart. That's what also sparked me, and once I figured out that I could play with these guys, be able to do my thing. That's when I stuck to it and I put my head down, man. And I went at it every day on the field. So being a red shirt, man, I wasn't going for it. I mean, even though that might be a opportunity for you to learn and grow. I mean, red shirt is not bad. It's an opportunity for you to grow and learn the playbook and watch film and stuff like that. But going in having that confidence, man, I knew I didn't want a red shirt. I played as a true freshman.
Yeah, man, that's good, man. That's a heck of a accomplishment. All right, so your first game, right? First time you lace it up, very first game. You're in college, true freshman, wide receiver. The dream is the NFL. Like, what was that experience like walking? I don't know if it's a tunnel or not, but what was that experience like walking to the field?
Man, every time I get ready, I smile because I get those butterflies when I step on the field. Like I said, doesn't matter if it's D1, D2, D3, but man, just them butterflies, getting ready to play a game, play against somebody else that you never seen before. It's a real cool experience. But I will say one thing, man, my first game did not go as planned.
I was going to ask you that next.
And then, what I'm saying, I didn't go out and just ball out, man. Actually, I was supposed to run like an over route, and I ran into this big old linebacker. He was from Henderson State. I tried to give him a little move, man. He pushed me right on my butt. So that was a welcome to D2. So, I mean, but it's a real fun experience, man, being able to go lace on some cleats for a college team in general. So,
yeah, bet. Best game. Give me the stats. Give me the numbers for the best game.
Best game, I'll have to say, man. I mean, I didn't score a lot of TDs this game, but I would definitely have to say my first game of my junior year, but it was my senior year because of COVID. But
yeah,
first game we played against Washita. I believe I had 8 receptions or 9 receptions for 179 yards and 1 TD. But that was the most reception yards that I've ever had. Plus, it was rainy. And we had a freshman quarterback, so we went in there, confident, but we knew it was going to be some troubles. But definitely my best game. But also my other best game, I'll definitely have to say my sophomore year versus Southeastern when I hurdled the guy.
Yeah,
I believe I had 8 receptions, something like that, for 140 yards and 3 TDs. So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
So like when you're out there and they can't do nothing with you.
Right.
Like, do you tell a coach, look, man, these dudes could get me the ball? Like, What is that experience like when they can't do nothing with you and everybody else knows it?
It's a rush, man. It feels like a rush because, when that, you got this dude cooked or, you need that ball just to, help your team out. It's like, because, the skybox all the way up there and you on the field. So if I know I got that dude, the coach knows. So I'm looking up there like, come on, let's get it. And but you also got to think as it, man, the coaches are not just watching you. They got to watch the offensive line, especially an OC or DC. They got to watch everybody. So me being able to help and tell my coach that, I'm cooking this dude over here, I can get us first down, I can get us some points on the board. It's a rush, man. It's just you ready to get that rock. So, I mean, for sure. Yeah, that.
After this, we're going to take a quick 20-second break. And after this, we're going to come back to talk about that last game when you realize that this is going to be the last time you play college ball and what was coming next. Before we get started with the podcast, I want you all to go check out You Grow Girl. That's Grow, Grow, written by a dear friend of mine, Jay Smith. It's for daily affirmations for Black women. It is filled with beautiful, colorful images of Black women and powerful affirmations. You can find it at Amazon at Amazon.com.
Hi, I'm Christian Miles, native Washingtonian and real estate agent servicing the Washington metropolitan area. I started my career as an investor and later transitioned to the residential side. I really wanted to leave the investor side because I wanted to connect with people. Building relationships is important to me. I understand the buying and selling process can be challenging. I get it. I've been there. I'm a mom, wife, friend, and neighbor. I absolutely love helping families and connecting with people. Going through the home buying and selling process is stressful enough. When working with me, I make it fun. As a realtor, I think it's important to be able to connect with you. Every detail is important, no matter how small. Let me take care of the heavy lifting while you focus on the joys of finding a new home. Something I live by, people may not remember what you said, but they will always remember how you made them feel. With me, it's an experience.
All right, thank you all. We're back. Wide receiver, Atlanta Falcons, Keilahn Harris is in the building. All right, so your last game. You know it's your last game. You stepping out on that field. You know what's on the other side of that whistle, but you got to focus on what's on this side of the whistle. What is that feeling like leading up to that game?
It's a good question, man. Honestly, the feeling is surreal because you realizing that you finna play your last college game ever, and I was contemplating on going back to college, but because of the NFL work, I had the extra eligibility to play, but figuring out and knowing that that's your last game, man, it's tough to realize, especially when the season is going bad. You just want to go out there and put your all and have fun with your boys for the last time.
Yeah, man, that's something. All right, college is over. It's time for the grind. Like it's time for, I don't know, like you got pro days.
Yeah.
You got combine. You got just work. It's time to work. It's time to show these NFL teams why they need to, draft you or look at you during that whole weekend, that whole process. What was that whole process like? Like did you all have a pro day down there?
Yeah, well, I didn't have a pro day at my school, so I went to the Tulsa pro day. But the process just leading up is the pre-draft process. It's a whole bunch of, learning technique. So being able to get faster, get stronger, being able to, excel in your testing scores basically. But it was just it was a tough process, but it was an easy process because you're working out every day. So you're doing something that you're used to, but you're doing it at an excel amount, as you say. But yeah.
So how was pro day kind of set up? Like, because I know it seems like is it all eligible students that can be eligible to be drafted or to be signed by an NFL team? So is it kind of crowded there, or it wasn't as many as I'm kind of picturing it?
It depends on the school. I mean, Tulsa's pro day. It wasn't crowded, but it was enough people there. You might go to a school, say Alabama or Clemson. You got all 32 teams there. You might not have that, at the Tulsa pro day. I think it was only like 16, something like that. It wasn't. I mean, it was a lot, but it wasn't too many. So just a pro day, man. It depends on who they're coming to see and how many guys it is, but it's eligible for all the guys that's coming out for the draft. So yeah, that's how pro day works.
All right. So what teams did you talk to?
At the end of it, man, I talked to the New York Giants. I talked to the Miami Dolphins. I honestly don't remember. I mean, I talked to most of the teams, but it's some teams that I wasn't able to talk to. Like I say, for instance, like I went to the NFLPA game and I talked to most of the NFL teams there. But when I was at pro day, most of them wasn't there because I either already talked to them or they just couldn't come to that pro day because they was at another one. So being able to talk to NFL team in general, man, was a cool experience. But going through those processes, you don't really remember who you talk to, like,
Yeah.
because there's so much coming.
Yeah,
So
so much going on, man. But I got this tweet up here, man. This pinned tweet before we start talking about the NFL player. July 25th, 2020.
mhm.
Keilahn Harris tweeted and pinned, "Mark my words, I'll play in the NFL one day, 100." Why did you tweet that?
Man, I don't know, man. That tweet brings a smile to my face every time I see it, man. Because I was so destined, I was so dedicated to make it to the NFL. Because I'm a small kid guy, so I didn't heard the doubts before. So I'm too small, or I got to work on this, or just because I went D2, hey, you're not gonna make it to the NFL. So, and I work out with a bunch of NFL guys. So, I say being able to get validation from them guys, letting me know that it's possible, man, and that you can make it. That just kept me on the grind. So, man, 3 years later, I'm here. But and it's not over. It's not over because
Yeah.
I'm to the NFL. But man, you gotta grind. You gotta go. You gotta go hard and take some food off people's plate, man, because everybody wants that check. So.
All right. So to go back, you got that phone call from Oklahoma Baptist. You got the call, you're kind of excited, not really. But now you get a call from the NFL.
Mhm.
NFL team gave you a call, the Atlanta Falcons. An NFL team gave you a call. What was that experience like?
It was a good experience, man.
Matter of
But
fact, no. Matter of fact, give me the whole scene. Give me the whole. Who was around you? What was going on? I need it all.
I got you. So we was here, man. We was at my crib We was at my crib, but we was downstairs, watching the draft. I had a draftable grade, so I'm sitting there watching, the draft, expecting to get picked up at least, in the late rounds. But it didn't work out like that, which it's cool because I still got my opportunity. But I I've how can I say this? Scouts text your phone before the draft or leading up to the draft. Atlanta Falcons was always on my line. They was always being consistent with me. But, getting that phone call, I didn't talk to them myself. So my agent talked to him. And, he told me that they was offering me, a preferred free agent contract. So, man, it was surreal, man. I was feeling down and up at the same time because, my dream was to get drafted. But I'm getting the opportunity to be an undrafted free agent, which is still an opportunity because every rookie got to go in there and grind and show them that they worth it. So man, getting that phone call, getting that opportunity was was the biggest blessing. Maybe this is what God wanted me to do.
Yeah,
This is
exactly.
what I'm saying. He still wants me to go prove myself, which is fine. Being able to prove myself, that's something I'm used to. So
And that's the thing. Is like when you're watching a draft, and obviously you was told that you have that you had a draftable grade,
mhm.
as you mentioned, and you see people going off the board that in your mind you like,
Yeah,
I'm better than him.
right.
I'm better than him. I'm better than him. Like how's it? I know you kind of touched on it a little bit, but how does that like make you feel? Like does that kind of hurt your confidence? Like what goes on during those moments?
Actually, it don't hurt my confidence at all, man. It just makes me hungry. Like
Okay. Yeah.
it just makes me like, man, like. And honestly, I just think, it's the NFL, man. I can't say too much on the NFL because I'm a rookie, so I don't know how all of it works like that.
Yeah.
I'm still
Yeah.
learning,
Yeah.
but I do know it's a big part in what school you go to. So I just feel like I went D2, but I still made it. But man, I felt like if I would have went D1 and putting up the numbers that I've done, then I would have been going before some of those guys. So me seeing that some of the receivers that was off the board before me it just made me hungry because you rather take him than me. So yeah,
Yeah, man. I mean, just think about it. The wide receiver, triple crown, king,
yeah,
year before last, didn't go to a D1, man.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's all good. Like once you get in the door, all that other stuff don't matter. Like no
It don't,
matters how many people try to say he's a this round pick or he undrafted. Like none of that stuff, man. Only thing matters is your production on the field.
Yes.
If you produce, it's going to show.
Yeah,
For sure.
That's definitely true, man. Putting your head down and 60% of the league is those undrafted guys or guys that went D2.
Yeah.
You gotta find your hunger, man. You gotta want it. Cause like I tell my partners and I tell my family members, bro, nobody is going to do it for you. It's up to you to go make it happen. So, man, I'm just ready to get to the grind.
Yeah, man. And now Atlanta Falcons, right? You get the call, you get the text, your agent reach out, say, hey, look, you're an Atlanta Falcon. So, like you said, we kind of talked about it in the beginning. It still hasn't come down on you yet.
Right.
But what's next for you as far as your journey? Like, what's next? You go to like rookie camp. Like, what's the process coming up for you?
Well, we really haven't got like our schedule and stuff yet, but we have gotten our iPad, where we got to watch film and stuff like that, go over the basics. But for me, man, I've been putting a plan in my head, even before the draft. My plan is to go into rookie mini camp and OTAs and fall camp, stuff like that. I want to have my head down. My opportunity is there, so I want to go in hour early, stay hour and a half late, just to gain that trust, and get familiar with the setting that I'm around. So I say, man, going in there and sticking with the team, but still doing my thing at the same time. Staying focused, keeping God first. Learning, staying in the film room, staying in the training room, being able to take care of my body, because that's your money maker right there.
Most definitely.
Yeah, that's your money maker right there. You got to stay healthy. So I say, man, going in there and keeping my head down and grinding 110% every day, getting 1% better. That's my goal.
Most definitely, man. And one of their draft picks, I coached at Pop Warner. He played for the team. DeMarco Helms, the cornerback.
Yeah.
So you're gonna be seeing him a lot in practice, man. So he's from DC bred, man. But yeah, man, I appreciate you so much for joining today, man. Like it's an honor to talk to you, to see someone's dream come alive, to be in the NFL. Like you still don't don't look like you like it's just like looking at you is just like you just it's right there, but it's like you still don't believe it. It's like you gotta touch that Atlanta Falcons door and pull it open and watch everybody that's security and they're welcome you in, get your badge, say Atlanta Falcons and all that good stuff on it, man.
I think that's what needs to happen, man. So I'm still here. I feel like when I leave, I get there, that's when it's gonna hit me. I see my name on the locker and I got my equipment and stuff. I think that's when it'll hit me. And I'm in that receiver room. So, but right now, man, it's just honestly, I'm just really focused on ready to get to work. So it just haven't hit me yet.
Most definitely, man. Hey, look, we appreciate you so much for joining, man, taking the time to come and join us. Hopefully, as the process continues, as you begin to ball out, you know what I'm saying? You make that roster, you make game day, you make that 53, you make that 47, you start producing on the field. You don't forget about little old Red Zone in the Lab podcast, man. Come back.
It's my first podcast, so I can't forget it, man. You connected with my people.
Most definitely. Most definitely, man. Shout out to Riri. Shout out to her for sure. Man, we thank you so much for joining again, man. We thank you all out there for watching. We thank you for listening. Remember, do it because you love it, not because it loves you. One beat, one sound, one heart.
Thank you for listening to Red Zone in the Lab podcast. Please follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Red Zone in the Lab. And you can download our podcast at Spotify, iTunes, and Podbean. And please visit our website at redzoneinTheLab.com. Thank you.